I came into this board in January, and things had kind of started before I came on board, and I think it's the right thing to do, to go out and look for alternative sites in the face of this kind of opposition, and in the face of the people who want a park like this. And so I've got to, thank you, and I have to balance what is coming at me in terms of, you know, I can't necessarily do a democracy. I suppose I could go out and count heads and say how many are for and how many are against. But that's not necessarily a valid way to discern this very serious at this point. Yes, Jeff?
Tim hasn't been able to answer this over the last 2 meetings, and I presume because he can't. As the commissioner, are you considering talking to your colleagues about putting together a fund if, God forbid, we get 1,500, 2,000 people down there at a time for us to live on top of the canyon rim to buy us out so we can get out of town? Because mine won't be able to sell it because of the noise.
I've had a lot of conversations with my colleagues, a lot of conversations, and that has not been one of them.
She's added to the list.
I have constituents who want this and who don't want this. I have made it very clear, again, that I give special weight to the people who are directly impacted. I have to. That's my job. I'm a representative for those people. And when it comes to the county taking action on something like this, I have to listen to the people who are directly impacted. I will tell you this. I do not support one nickel of taxpayer dollars going to a park like this. And that's because this county can't afford that. I have issues with deputies that we can't staff, overtime that we can't pay, and roads that we can't build. And so I have to give those priority. And so that's something that I can definitively say.
Commissioner Lathen was mentioning that she's investigating alternative sites. What is the El Paso County Parks and Leisure Department doing to assist in that? You have a master planning parallel process with these studies. Is one of those studies assisting her, or is there any effort going to that? Or is this a lone effort on her part?
We'd be happy to assist in any way that Mr. Lathen would like us to assist.
Well, both of you talked about private-public relationships. I guess I'd put a different spin on it of maybe looking at public-private relationships. I think, as this woman has suggested, there is a fundamental problem when you have really basically a sole source private person. That if, first of all, if you could find some land that was already public and use the money that you're talking about to develop the site, and then have much more control over the private contractor. Basically, they would be beholden to the county rather than, as I see it, the county being beholden to Aztec. So I think that would be a much better business model. I certainly understand why you don't want to run it, and I wouldn't expect the county to want to run it, but I think the opposite model really would work a lot better than the model that the county is currently pursuing.